Now, I've worked with multiple 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs inside the high ticket space. And I've worked with the people who are literally at the bottom at $0 a month or even 2K a month. And I've helped them get to 15, 30, and even 50K a month consistently. Now, there's a couple key things that separate the winners from the losers consistently. So if you want to save yourself years of wasted time and you just want to make a bunch more money a lot faster with a lot less effort, you need to watch this video right now. Pause everything you're doing, grab a notepad, take the fucking notes, because I'm spilling it out raw for you. No Vaseline, no latex defenses. It's just going to be raw. I'll give you the exact key mechanisms that separate the small percentage of people who succeed and make hundreds of thousands of dollars from the people who just kind of stay stuck around the same revenue, the same kind of profit, or just stay stuck at the bottom. I've been in the marketing and sales space for a very long time, and I've seen very well what works with a lot of like the higher ticket or the 6, 7, 8 figure entrepreneurs, and what doesn't work, and what I see a lot with my students, right? So when students come to us, most of the time they're suffering from a couple very simple problems that we need to fix with them. And if they do it, they get to 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month pretty easily. So for example, Arjan, who literally went from $0 a month in November 2024 to making over $40,000 a month in April, right? He was the one who joined us in October, November 2024. And then we also had Matthias, for example, who joined us around the same time, no experience at all, like never done a sales call in his life. And he went from zero to also around $15,000 per month. Last month, he made $12,000 in profit, and he's now officially moved to Bali. So he's balling out, right? So our clients do extremely well. But what is it that makes us able to create these transformations? Now, there's a couple things, right? The first and foremost key that nobody wants to actually accept in the online space, because everybody just wants to sell you the magical system that's going to make you rich instantly, is that you fucking need to improve yourself. Right. And the thing is not, I'm not talking about self-improvement as in you need to start to do NoFap or like you need to watch some kind of motivational video. I'm talking about you need to show up as a professional. There's a super clear distinction in the online info space between the professionals and between the amateurs. So a lot of people, I know a lot of you right now who are watching this, you're still showing up as the happy to be here guy. You cannot show up as the happy to be here guy and make more than $10,000 per month. It's just not possible. Let me explain to you what the happy to be here guy is. The happy to be here guy is the guy who goes in the Discord, right? He joins the Ecom group or like the Closer group or the people who are doing any kind of making money online. And he's like, hey guys, so happy to be here. Good morning. He's always saying GM, right? Every day he's like, GM, I'm so happy, guys, that we get to be on this journey together. Does that sound like a guy who already made it? No, it sounds like a guy who just started out. And so your positioning is extremely key when it comes to making money online, and especially if you want to sign high ticket deals. And nobody understands this, right? Positioning is the way you present yourself and the way you place yourself in the market. It's the perception you create around who you are, what you do, and how valuable it is what you do. And most beginners and starters and even intermediate people, even sometimes multiple 5 figures, still fuck this up, right? Their position is extremely weak because it looks like this is a guy who just started out. When you want to make money, you stop showing up as the person who wants to make money, because that's the guy who doesn't have money. You have to show up as the guy who already knows what he's doing. You have to show up as a professional, right? I already know how to do this. When I started signing my first clients, I was not coming from the frame of like, oh, I'll try and help you and I see what I can do. I'm like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix that. And I'm going to make sure that your business does this. Right? And I would provide my value. I would show my value. Now, this is the second thing, right? When I started out, I was never like, oh, I need a 3, 5, whatever K retainer. I was just like, I'm going to fix this inside your business, right? I don't even care about what you pay me. You're going to give me this percentage. And I always work performance-based. Now, I'm not telling you need to work performance-based. Actually, I know very well on how to systemize and what structures and strategies you can use to get your first clients to pay you a lot of money. Major key part, right, to you getting to your 10K a month is, first of all, you cannot show up as an amateur. You have to show up as a professional. Second of all, you have to be a maximizer. What is a maximizer? A maximizer is somebody who gets a deal, who goes into a business, who completes some kind of task, who solves some kind of problem, but then doesn't stop at solving that problem. They go, what other problems are there in this business? What else can I optimize? Okay, they got the leads here, but they don't got the email marketing. Okay, I'm going to fix the email marketing for them. Okay, they got the email marketing, but they don't got a good ad. You know what? I'm going to create a couple new ad creators for them. I'm going to be like, hey, I created a couple new ad creators for you completely for free. No worries, right? You can use them, test them, see if they work. If they work, we can work something out with a deal later. Right? You got to be a hustler. You got to be a maximizer. So many of you, you're just letting opportunities slip by you every single day. With the mindset I have and the skills and the abilities I have, I could go pretty much into any business. I'd find something, right? And I could even start in a job position as an employee. And I would, within no time, I would be in some top position. I would be overseeing things. They would leave different things to me and they'd be like, oh my God, Leon, yeah, you handle this, you handle that. Okay, we're going to give you more money. You need more money. Okay, here it is. Because I know exactly like what is the things to switch to make this thing profitable, right? And so many of you are just letting opportunities just slide by every single day. You're not looking at things. You're like, oh, okay, I got an appointment setter job. Okay, let's set the appointments. No, go look at what is their business doing? What is the sales funnel doing? Is the follow-up being done correctly? Do they let leads slip through the cracks? Are they managing things well? What is slipping through the cracks? Where are the problems? Let me fix the problems. Let me demonstrate more value than I have, right? So what most people do is like, okay, the job or whatever, the client, they expect this from me. So then I'll try to deliver this. You don't want to be that guy because you're going to lose because of everybody doing that. So you're competing with everybody. You want to be the guy that's like, okay, they expect this, so I'll deliver this. Right? So now I'm in a class of my own. Now I'm in the top percentage of like people. And now they're like, fuck, we cannot let this guy go. Right? So first appointment setting job I had, what I actually got after a while is because I became more valuable. I was like, okay, so for me, honestly, it doesn't make sense to stay here because you're paying me this much. And I got other people who do want to work with me and they want to pay me this much. So if I had to stay with you guys, you at least have to pay me double. No, actually, I said triple. I said you have to pay me triple of what I'm making now, right? This wasn't like, hey, you have to pay me like, 5% more, 10% more. I was like, you have to pay me triple of what I pay now. And then it took like 1 or 2 weeks of them negotiating with each other. And then ultimately they're like, okay, sorry, we cannot give you triple. That's going to bankrupt us, but we can give you double. And I was like, all right, I'll take it, right? And then I took it. But the point was that I made myself so valuable. I made myself so indispensable that they had no other choice, right? The opportunity cost of trying to find another setter was higher than basically, paying me double, right? So it would have been worse for them to hire a new setter and get them on the low pay, even lower than what I was making, because before that, I already had a raise, right? So I went from a certain percentage to a higher percentage and then to double basically, right? And that is how valuable I made myself. And that's what I've done every time in my life with everything, right? It's just most of you are just doing the bare minimum and you're trying to make it in business. But let me show you something. So guys, let me show you how business really works. So in life, we obviously often get like grades or like a diploma or some kind of metric that will show us whether we advance. And so let's say we have a scale that basically represents how much you commit and how much you dedicate to something. A 10 out of 10 being you do everything you can, everything in your power to make this thing successful, to make this thing happen. 0 being basically you do nothing, right? So in normal life, you can perform anywhere above a 5 and you'll be fine, right? So if you're in a normal job and you kind of, do average amount of effort, most likely you'll be able to keep the job, right? If you're some low-level job. If you're doing a 6 in effort, you'll be able to pass uni, right? You'll be able to pass your high school. If you score above a 6, basically, you're going to pass, you're going to graduate, you're going to get your diploma, which basically means you get rewarded for being average, right? Think of that. I want that to sink into your brain. All your life, you've been trained to be rewarded while being average. What does that train your brain to be? Average. Now, anyway, let me show you how it works in business. In business, it's more like this. If you are the number one in your space and you commit 10 out of 10, you're 100% focused on this, on creating success in this area, you'll be among the top people in the space. And let's say the top of your space is making 1 million a month, right? Just for simple math, right? These numbers can be different per field, per business, blah, blah, blah. But let's say the top in your industry is making 1 million a month. Let's say you're at a 9, right? A 9 will already be a huge drop, right? So instead of being at the top as a 10 out of 10 business owner, you're now 9 out of 10. So now you're doing 100K per month, right? 100K. An 8, maybe, does 15K a month, right? And then a 7 is doing like 5K a month. And then a 6 is basically not even able to sign a client. And then anywhere below that, you're just not making money, right? So you see how it goes. The more energy, the more you perform in this singular thing, exponentially the more money you make. The amount of systems, teams, automations, back-end structure, fulfillment structure, marketing structure the 10 out of 10 does is on a completely different level even than the 9. And a 9 is already high, right? Think of school. Think of what it took to get a 9. Think of what it takes to get a 10, right? Obviously, nobody's perfect, but what we're saying is that this guy's fully on it. He's taking all the cake. And then the person who's like really on it, like really above average, they're taking just, a tenth of the cake. And then below that, it just gets exponentially worse to the point that under this effort, you're not making any money. So if you come into business, right, and especially like high ticket space with a 6 out of 10 effort, like you've been used to in school and high school, you're just going to be broke. You're just going to suffer for months, for years. So many beginners, starters, people between 0, 20, 30K a month, they're trying 2, 3 different businesses at the same time, right? You're like, I'm a high ticket coach and also I do e-com. What are you doing? The guy who's doing this, right, who's like at the top in your industry, he's not doing that. And if he was, it was because he became so successful doing this singular thing that he now has enough money and he has systemized it to such a point that he can focus on other things while his business runs itself. If that's not you, you got no business being in other businesses. You should have one only, right? At the moment somebody comes to me like, I'm making 10K a month, I got 3 businesses. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you an idiot? Like you actually want to be broke. If you got some kind of passive side hustle that's creating some kind of income, like that takes like 2 minutes of your time every week and it generates you 5K or 2K, okay, fine, right? Sure. But if you're like really like, you're 60% in the high ticket coaching business and then another 40% is like going into affiliate marketing, you're just wasting both opportunities really. Like either just put all your effort in the affiliate or put all your effort into the high ticket. Don't do 2 things. Build at least 1 to 100K per month, systemize it, delegate it, make sure it's automated as much as possible. And then still, I would say then just scale further, right? But if you do, then if you really need to start another business, then do it then. Do it if something is already cash flowing super well. And then you're like, oh, I got all this time, my team and my automations and systems are doing everything. I'm going to build this other thing on the side. Obviously, you got the time, you got the resources, you're doing well. Okay, cool. But that's extremely important, right, guys? So commitment, right? Not self-improvement as in, oh, you need to do NoFap. No, self-improvement as in you need to show up as this person. Because the earlier you accept that, the earlier you're going to make money. And this doesn't mean you need to put 24 hours a day of work, right? Because this might make it seem like, oh my God, how am I ever going to outcompete the number one in my space? That's not what you need to aim for. But what you do need to aim for is, let's say you got 2 hours of work per day, but that at least those 2 hours are 100% of your dedication, commitment, and focus. Right? That's the biggest thing. You can get to 10, 15K a month with 2 hours of input every day. I honestly believe that. Now, obviously somebody who puts 10 hours is going to be there faster, but you can get there. But you just got to make sure that these 2 hours are fucking optimized and maximized. Most of you, those 2 hours are just you checking your phone a couple times, scrolling some girls on TikTok or Instagram, then working on your business a little bit. But then working on your business is not even really working on your business. It's most likely researching some YouTube videos about the business that you have, right? Watching a couple YouTube videos, and then you for 30 minutes, you really did something for the business itself. The other time was just wasted watching content. Don't do that, right? Do the fucking thing that makes you scale. Do the thing that creates systems, create the automations, create the team, do the outreach, do the fucking create the ads, create the structures, learn the things that you don't know about, whether it's copywriting, sales, objection handling. Spend your time wisely, because it's the most valuable resource you have, your time and your energy. Don't waste it doing all these bullshit things that don't actually get you any money. Right? Focus on the money. Money in, that's the number one goal of your business right now. Money is the number one thing. It's the key fuel driver engine to your business. Focus on the actions that create that. Whatever it is, whether you need systems, whether you need growth operators, whether you need to hire people, train them, manage them, I don't care. But you focus on the things that bring in the money and show up as a 10 out of 10 any minute you spend in your business. Don't do half-assed 40% work. Better to do 100% for 2 hours and then take a break for 6 hours than to do 8 hours and just do this subpar quality. Don't do that. You're hurting yourself. Maximize everything. Upgrade yourself to a high level that you're extremely, extremely, extremely efficient. Become an elite operator and just crush it. And faster than you think you'll be able to achieve your goals, your financial freedom and time freedom and everything. And everybody has this in them. I want you to understand that. It's not like being a 10 is something exceptional that's only reserved for a couple people. Other humans did it, and a lot of them do. You can do it too. It's just like I said, in society, you were trained to be this. You were trained to be the 6. They trained you to be rewarded for being average. And you need to get that shit out of your head. The sooner you're like, fuck average, I'm exceptional, and you become exceptional, the sooner you're making the money you're looking to make. And it's going to be extremely fast, just like it did for Arjan, just like it did for Matthias, and so many other people in our program. Same thing happened for me, right? From making 2K a month in a couple months going to 15K a month, right? Just because I decided like, this is it. I'm done playing this stupid game. At the time, I was doing both appointment setting and trading. I was trying to make 3 businesses work at the same time. I was like, fuck all of that. I'm going to go all in on high ticket, appointment setting, closing, create my agency, create my consultancy. And within no time, literally in the span of like, I think 3 months, I went from making 2 to 15K a month. Just because I was like, fuck all that shit. I took on the mentorship. I set my ego aside. I was like, I'm done trying to do this shit by myself. Fuck that. Right? I'm done playing this shit small. I know every single person kept saying to me, all the successful people, oh yeah, invest in yourself. Mentors. I was like, yeah, but I got the YouTube video. Fuck the YouTube video, bro. Like, if you want direct guidance, you need to get direct guidance, guys. You live in an exceptional age, right? Or parents were not able to just message somebody who's making 500K per month and be like, hey, bro, I would love to see if you can help me one-on-one. No, they had to struggle. And that's why most of our parents, like, honestly, I love my mom, but she was not able to create financial success for herself, right? So we have this amazing privilege of like, we are able to fucking reach out to people and be like, yo, I would love to work with you. Can you tell me what to do? And obviously it's going to come at a price, right? But that's the thing. You cannot be a brokey. If you want to become rich, you have to be like a rich person, right? You have to be the person you want to be. Like the version of you that's making 50K a month, would they invest in people that would help them to the next level? Fuck yes, right? I always keep a budget reserved for investing in myself and leveling up, and I'm always working on myself. So this is extremely important, right? You cannot stay stagnant. Now, if you need personal help, right? If you've watched it and you're like, fuck, I need to fucking change my shit, which you need to do most likely if you're watching this, because then this video spoke to you, obviously, and it had a lot of value for you. You can just DM me. You can just go to the description and book the call, and we can speak to each other and we can see if it's a good fit. And I don't take anyone on that I don't think I can genuinely get results or help. So that is the one thing that's most important to me, finding out if I can actually help you, if I can actually get results. And if so, I can help you get to your 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever K a month that you want to get to, and do so efficiently with systems, automations, tools, the skills that you might lack, any knowledge gaps you might have, I'll fill them up. Anything dumb you're doing, I'll tell you to stop doing that shit, and I'll also call it out so you actually know, like, oh, that's the dumb shit, right? A lot of times when I was younger, when I was still struggling, I didn't know what was the dumb shit I was doing. There was so many mistakes I made, and I either paid in time or I paid in money for it, right? So eventually you will pay anyways, right? It's just up to you whether it's going to be with time, right? Months of wasted effort, or it's going to be some money that you invest in yourself and you get the help you need and you actually get to your goals, right? So it's a very no bullshit call. I don't like to do any kind of trickery or bullshitting or anything like that. It's a very straightforward call. See how we can help you get to your 10, 20, 30K a month goal. And if so, let's fucking go. It's very simple, right? Just like we did for so many others. If that's something you want to scale, you're ready for the next step, go book that call. Stop playing small. All right. Goodbye.